Our objective for tonight's event is to inspire, inform, and support residents on tight budgets to be able to afford an electric vehicle. And here is the agenda for tonight. We're going to start with talking about the benefits of driving electric vehicles, then highlight the many incentives that can help make an electric vehicle more affordable. We will then post our short survey in the chat where you can respond and have a chance to win a Target gift card. And then we'll move on to the question and answer session at the very end. And now I'd like to introduce and thank our sponsors. We have San Jose Clean Energy. They are the City of San Jose clean energy provider. We also have Bay Area Air Quality Management District, who is supporting our GoEV program in the communities of San Jose and Pittsburgh. Thank you to our sponsors. Without your support, we could not make this event possible. And now let's dive into learning about the benefits of switching to driving electric. All right, first, let's look at the type of vehicles that you must purchase in order to qualify for the majority of the incentives, which we will be talking about today. Here we have a plug-in hybrid. This type of electric vehicle still uses gasoline, but it can switch between using gas or using electricity. For this type of vehicle, you still need to recharge the battery with an electricity source like a normal 120-volt outlet or a level 2 charger. And these cars typically have around 20 to 40 miles of range in electricity, and then 300 miles in normal gas range. Next up, we have the 100% electric car. This one is also qualifying for the incentives. They only use an electric motor, and it still needs to be recharged by an electricity source, like a 120-volt outlet, level 2 charger, and these can also use a DC fast charger, which you'll find those in public. And purchasing this type of electric vehicle will usually give you the most amount of money, more than the plug-in hybrid, for some of the incentives that are available. And so how do you decide which type of electric vehicle is going to be right for you to purchase? Is it the 100% electric or the plug-in hybrid? And you can ask yourself these two questions to determine. Number one, do I have an outlet in my garage or my parking spot where I can use to charge my electric vehicle? Or does your workplace provide electric vehicle charging? Yes or no? Question two is, do you drive less than 50 miles every day? Yes or no? And if you answered yes to both of these questions, then 100% electric vehicle can meet your needs. And if you answered no to any of these questions, then maybe a plug-in hybrid might be better for you. But at the end of the day, it all just depends on the individual. And so what are the benefits of driving an electric vehicle? There are many reasons to make the switch to driving electric, so let's discuss some of the most compelling benefits. The first reason is for cleaner air and healthier communities. There would be a big difference in air quality if everyone started taking cleaner methods of transportation. So EVs are healthier for the people and for the planet. The pollutants that come out of a car's tailpipe are very harmful to our health. In humans, pollution from cars cause many health issues, including stroke, heart disease, lung cancer, asthma, and other respiratory diseases. The pollutants that come out of a car's tailpipe are carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and small particles. The good news is that when you switch to driving an electric vehicle, this means you're not going to be polluting the air anymore. There is less carbon emissions tied to owning an electric vehicle than a gas car. And when you drive an electric vehicle, you're going to be saving 7,500 pounds of carbon dioxide a year from entering the atmosphere. Over a 10-year period, you are saving 75,000 pounds of carbon dioxide from being entered into the atmosphere. Just imagine if everyone drove an electric vehicle in the Bay Area. We could experience clean air and blue skies regularly and drastically reduce air pollution and its harmful effects on our community. Benefit number 2 to switching driving electric is that it can help create a more stable climate. Carbon dioxide, which is created from burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas, is one of the leading contributors to climate change. And as you see from this slide here, transportation accounts for around 40% of California's carbon emissions. And here, specifically in Silicon Valley, transportation is going to account for over 60% of our carbon emissions. This is why we believe that using clean transportation, such as an electric vehicle, is one of the most important things that any person can do to help fight against the climate crisis. And the third benefit of driving electric is the cost savings and carpool access that you get. So there are 3 ways in which you will be able to save money as an electric vehicle owner. The first is that electric vehicles cost less to charge than the price of gas, because electricity is only a third of the price of gas. A Consumer Reports study found that the average electric vehicle driver in California is going to save around $1,000 in fuel costs every year. And this is going to add up over the many years that you're going to be driving an electric vehicle. The second way to save money when driving electric is lower maintenance. Electric vehicles have 10 times fewer moving pieces underneath the hood. So EV drivers don't have to fix or replace the fuel injectors, the oil filter, the radiator, the spark plug, the timing belt, the water pump, and there's not going to be any more smog checks. Consumer Reports magazine also confirmed that EV owners are going to spend half as much on maintenance than gas car owners do over the lifetime of the car. So a person with a gas car is going to spend around $9,200 on their car versus a person with an EV is going to spend half as much, $4,600. And you'll also save some time with a clean air vehicle decal sticker, which is exclusive to electric vehicle drivers. This sticker allows a single passenger to drive in the carpool lane during rush hour traffic. All of these electric vehicles qualify for a clean air vehicle decal, which is valid for up to 4 years, but the program is ending in September of 2025. So get your decal as soon as possible to take advantage of this benefit. Once you have the clean air vehicle decal sticker, you can also save some money when crossing Bay Area bridges. You'll be paying $3.50 instead of the normal $7. And finally, the fourth benefit of electric vehicles is that they are fun and easy to charge. EVs are fun to drive because they have fast acceleration due to the instant torque and dual motor sometimes. They are a smooth, quiet ride, and there's no vibration or noise produced by an engine because it doesn't have an engine, it uses an electric motor. You must test drive an electric vehicle in order to find out for yourself just how fun they are to drive. You can come to a dealership and request an electric vehicle test drive, or you can find EV test ride and drives in the Bay Area. You can also ask one of our EV ambassadors at a Nectera EV Expo about how their EV experience has been. And charging is easy. And so charging your car at home is going to be more convenient than having to go to a gas station. You just plug in your car overnight, like how you do with your cell phone, and then you are ready to leave the next morning with your car fully charged and ready to go. And there are many workplaces, retailers, and city governments that are starting to provide level 2 and DC fast charging stations for their employees and the public. We have 3 different type of charging levels. Level 1 is charging with a normal 120-volt outlet. This charges around 40 miles overnight. It's pretty slow, but if you drive less than 40 miles every day, you're going to be good to go with using a level 1 charger. A level 2 charger requires a dedicated 240-volt outlet, like the one that most of our clothes dryers use. It looks like this. And there are much faster at charging. It's going to charge 25 miles every hour. That's around 200 miles of charge every night. And that's really good. However, installing a level 2 charger in your home could mean some extra costs, like hiring an electrician to install the 240-volt outlet, or they might have to upgrade your electrical panel. It always depends on the specific situation. Maybe you already have a 240-volt in your garage. That can be multi-purpose. Then finally, we have the DC fast charger. This is the fastest type of charging we have available. It can use up to 280 volts, and it'll charge around 130 to 200 miles every hour. You would use these fast chargers when you travel longer distances or traveling across the country. There are more and more charging stations that are popping up everywhere in the United States, and there are a lot more on the way. Here is a great program from PG&E that can help low-income homeowners with the costs associated with the installation of a level 2 charger on your property. It's now open and accepting applications. This program can cover $500 for the purchase of the level 2 charger itself, and then can cover $2,000 for the electrician costs. This is a program that would require income eligibility. So double check on the PG&E's website for the income limitations. And as a quick reminder to everyone, I'm going to be providing everyone who registered for this event with a PDF copy of the slide deck. So if you missed something in the presentation and you want to go back, you can do so. There's also going to be a YouTube recording sent out to everyone. There's also other charging rebates that might be available in your city. And in a follow-up email, I'm going to provide you with a website where you can check all of the charging rebates that are available. And if you live in an apartment, there are some options for you to meet your charging needs. There are some smart outlets that your apartment complex can provide to their residents, like the Plug ZIO or the Go Power EV. And this allows residents to charge with a level 1 charger while still being able to track how much electricity they are consuming, and then they charge a fee for that electricity usage. It's kind of like an electricity tracker. Then there's also the middle picture, which is a concierge service named Currently. And Currently will come to wherever you are to charge your electric vehicle with their portable battery. And then there's also public charging, which you could rely on. They are available everywhere in the Bay Area. There's an app called PlugShare, which I recommend you download. This can show you all of the different locations of EV chargers in the Bay Area or wherever you are. And it'll show you a lot of good information. It can filter out the type of charger that you have on your EV, and it'll show you how much it costs to charge there and if they're working or not. Sometimes they are under maintenance. Remember that if you're going to be charging at home, to be mindful of your time of use pricing in order to not pay as much for charging your electric vehicle. So if you're using a typical 4 to 9 plan, definitely don't charge during 4 to 9. And then if you want to research some PG&E EV rate plans, there are some plans that can help lower the cost of charging your electric vehicle during overnight hours. So definitely explore PG&E's plans, or if you have another electrical provider, explore the plans that they have for EV charging at home. And so the good news is that you can still make your next car an electric one with some resourcefulness and the financial incentives that can substantially reduce the purchase cost. So now let's dive into the many incentives that are out there that can help make you purchase an electric vehicle at a good price. And we'll start by talking about those new car purchases. If you're considering purchasing a new electric vehicle, this rebate is for you. So here we have the new clean vehicle tax credit. This is a tax credit which can reduce your federal income taxes by up to $7,500 when you purchase a new electric vehicle. And you can apply this credit to the taxes that you file the year after you purchase your electric vehicle. So if you buy an electric vehicle this year, you could apply this credit when doing your taxes in 2025. You can also receive the clean vehicle tax credit as a point of sale discount. So this means you will no longer have to wait until the year after when you do your taxes to receive this credit, and you can receive it as a discount from the dealership. If you are going to go through this dealership discount, make sure that the dealership actually has a system in place to give you the discount. They will need your tax information, and make sure you don't sign anything before they actually apply this discount. And for some of the rules on this tax credit is that your income cannot be more than $150,000 for a single filer, more than $225,000 for a head of household, and it can't be more than $300,000 for joint filers. The electric vehicle must have final assembly in North America. So this is going to discount or take out most of the Korean electric vehicles or the Japanese electric vehicles. And then EVs, the EV must not cost more than $55,000 if it's classified as a car, and it cannot be more than $80,000 if it's classified as an SUV, a van, or a truck. And so looking at the fueleconomy.gov website, which I will include in the follow-up email, you can see all of the vehicles that are going to qualify for the new clean vehicle tax credit. And these are the EVs that qualify for the full $7,500 tax credit. And of course, we have the Ford F-150 Lightning, that's a truck, the Tesla Model Y SUV, Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid, the Acura ZDX, the Chevy Bolt, and the Chevy Blazer and Equinox, the Volkswagen ID4, and the new Honda Prologue. Those qualify for the full $7,500. Then we have the vehicles that qualify for half of the credit, so $3,750. We have the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid, the Jeep Grand Cherokee plug-in hybrid 4xe, the Jeep Wrangler plug-in hybrid 4xe, the Rivian R1S and the R1T, and the Lincoln Corsair Grand Touring. So now let's look at an example of someone who is going to use this tax credit to discount it from the price of the electric vehicle. So we have here a new 2023 Chevy Bolt. It has 259 miles of range. The price of the car is $26,500. $26,500. And the clean vehicle tax credit is going to discount $7,500. So the price after that rebate is around $19,000. And you'll have to pay plus tax and some fees. All right, that was the only incentive available for new electric vehicles. There's going to be another one coming up in a few slides, but that one has more of a special requirement. Now let's move on to the incentives available for those who want to buy a used electric vehicle. And there are more incentives currently for used electric vehicles. So first, we have the clean vehicle tax credit again. Instead of $7,500, it's $4,000 for purchasing a used electric vehicle. The EV you must buy has to be at least 2 model years old. So we're in 2024. It must be a 2022 model or older. The sales price of the electric vehicle cannot be above $25,000. And there are some income limitations again. You cannot make more than $75,000 for a single filer, no more than $112,500 for head of household, and no more than $150,000 for joint filers. And then again, starting this year, you can elect to transfer the credit to the dealership, which will enable you to receive the tax credit as a discount from the dealership. So that's a $4,000 discount from the dealership. Same thing with the vehicle tax credit. You'll be able to claim the $4,000. This is kind of what I said already. The EV must be 2 model years old. Sales price of the electric vehicle cannot be more than $25,000. And here are the income limitations once again. So next up, we have the PG&E used electric vehicle rebate. This can give a $1,000 rebate to everyone who purchases a used electric vehicle, as long as you are a PG&E existing electricity customer. And then there's also an increased rebate for those who are income qualifying. You can get a $4,000 rebate when purchasing a used electric vehicle. This is a great rebate from PG&E that is going to help people who want to buy a less expensive used electric vehicle. Next up, we have a used rebate from Peninsula Clean Energy, and this is for $2,000 towards the purchase of a used electric vehicle. And Peninsula Clean Energy this rebate is only available for those who live in Peninsula Clean Energy service territory, and that is most of San Mateo County and the city of Los Banos. And so this is a great rebate program that's offered by Peninsula Clean Energy for their customers. You can receive $2,000 of a discount from the dealership. So again, it's a discount from the dealership, and it's income qualifying as well. So you can use this towards a 100% electric vehicle, or you can also use it towards a plug-in hybrid. So for this grant rebate, it's the same amount for a plug-in hybrid and a 100% electric vehicle. And of course, there's income limits for this. So they're actually kind of high. So for the modified gross income, you cannot make more than $150,000 filing jointly, no more than $112,500 if you're filing head of household, and no more than $75,000 if you file as single. All right, now let's discuss a grant program that's open for all of the Bay Area and California for those who meet certain income qualifications and other requirements. And this, of course, I'm talking about the Clean Cars for All grant. The Clean Cars for All grant is now open with some new guidelines. And the new program will allow you to trade in a 2007 or older car, and they are going to award you with a grant of up to $7,000, but it can go all the way up to $12,000 for your old 2007 car. The grant amount is going to depend on what type of electric vehicle you want and also determined by your zip code. This program is now open to all of the Bay Area once again. Here is the income limit for this program. So you must be making less than 300% of the federal poverty level. That's really low for some people. So maybe some people won't qualify. Going through this list here, for a single person, you must make less than $45,180 a year. And for a family of three, combined, you must make less than $77,460. So if you fall under these income guidelines and you have a 2007 car or older that you want to retire, you can apply for this program. On the bottom, you can see how much of a grant you will be able to qualify for, depending on the type of electric vehicle you would like to purchase. So if you want to get a conventional hybrid that uses only gas, you don't have to recharge. It's $7,000. The plug-in hybrid is a little bit lower, $9,500. And then for $500 more, you can get a battery electric for $10,000. And this also qualifies for a fuel cell. And then there's also a mobility option. Mobility option means an e-bike. So if you want to buy an electrical bike, they can give you $7,500 towards that purchase. And then there's also an increased grant for those that live in a disadvantaged community. And this will be determined by your zip code. And so the increased grant is available for those who live in the disadvantaged community. And there's also an additional $2,000 for an EV charging rebate. This can be put towards the installation of a level 2 charger in your home, or you can use it as a public charging card. So they can give you $2,000 gift card to use it to charge in public with those public chargers. So now let's look at an example of how much you can save by combining some of the grants that we just discussed. Here we have a 2020 Chevy Bolt with a Premier package. This on any website is coming out at around $14,000 used. And then you apply the Clean Cars for All grants, which is going to enable you to receive a $10,000 discount. Then you also put into consideration the Peninsula Clean Energy Grant, which is another $2,000 discount. And then the PG&E used EV rebate, that's an additional $4,000 discount. In total, right there, you're going to be saving $16,000. So that's actually more savings than the price of the car. So you're going to be paying $0 for the electric vehicle, and you're going to be keeping an additional $2,000 extra money. And you can use that extra money for anything, for the registration fee, using it for public charging. They really don't care what you use that money for. So this is a great example of someone who lives in San Mateo County or the city of Los Banos, but let's say you don't qualify for the Clean Cars for All or the Peninsula Clean Energy discounts. There's still the federal used EV tax credit, which is another $4,000. So let's say you only have the PG&E and the federal tax credit discount. That's $8,000. So 14,000 minus 8, you're saving a total of $8,000 from that price. So really, really good deals, really good savings out there when you put these incentives to use. And also a part of the Clean Cars for All program is being able to trade in your old car for an e-bike. And electrical bikes are another form of clean transportation that is becoming more popular. And so qualifying residents who retire their old 2007 car can receive $7,500 for an e-bike. And there's also those who live in Contra Costa County can receive an additional $500 rebate. Ride and Drive Clean has a discount of $400. And California has a grant for $1,000, and those who income qualify can receive $2,000 of a grant towards an e-bike. And last, well, actually not the last program, we have another program here, MCE, and their Instant Rebate EV program. This is for residents who live in MCE Clean Energy Service Territory. So if you live in Contra Costa County, Marin County, Napa County, or Solano County, you are eligible for this incentive. This one, you must income qualify again. And here are those income guidelines. For a single person, less than $58,320. For a family of 3, less than $99,440. And so if you qualify, you can receive $3,500 towards the purchase of a new electric vehicle. And this one can be stacked with all of the other ones I mentioned before. And then you also have a rebate for those who want to buy a used electric vehicle, where they give you $2,000 for a 100% electric or a plug-in hybrid. So for both. Moving on, we have those of you who live in the city of Santa Clara, and you are a Silicon Valley Power customer. So those who are income qualifying are eligible for a rebate of up to $3,500 when you purchase a used electric vehicle. And you can apply for this rebate on their website. And here are those income limits again. This one's really high for income. A family of 1 or a single filer must make less than $96,000. And for a family of 3, must make less than $123,400. So if you live in the city of Santa Clara, you're eligible for this incentive. So those are all of the incentives available right now. And one of the next steps that you can take is to request your free one-on-one consultation with me, where I can help you identify which rebate program you specifically qualify for. We'll be able to create a personalized action plan for the steps that you need to take in order to receive your incentives. And then you can request this consultation when you complete our post survey at the end of this website, at the end of this event, or on our website. And here's an example of someone who I helped get an electric vehicle. Her name is Henrietta Burrows, and she said, "I have found out for myself what a life-changing experience an electric vehicle can be." All right, so it's that time where we're going to drop the link to the post survey in the chat. And if you fill out this post survey, give us some feedback, you're going to be entered into a giveaway of 2 Target $50 gift cards. So that's 2 Target gift cards worth $50 each to people who take our survey. We're kind of just saying thank you for coming to this event and leaving us your feedback. And remember to request your free consultation on there as well if you would like one, or you can do that in the future on our website when you're ready. Want to say thank you again to our presenting sponsor, Peninsula Clean Energy, the City of San Jose Clean Energy, and Bay Area Air Quality Management District. And I also invite you guys to an upcoming test drive event. So I mentioned you must test drive an electric vehicle to find out how fun they are. We actually have an event where you can test drive those electric vehicles in the city of Sunnyvale. It's going to be Saturday, May 18th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Register at this bit.ly link, or you can scan the QR code. It's going to be at the Baylands Park in Sunnyvale. It'll be really fun. Hopefully I get to see you See you there. Now I'll pass it off to Remy Rin. She's going to talk a little bit about some of our programs that we have in partnership with some cities.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Irvin. I'll be brief, but just wanted to shout out two exciting programs that Terra is partnering with the city of Mountain View. The first one is an e-bike voucher program, so you can get up to $1,500 towards the purchase of an e-bike. There's 3 tiers of income qualifying levels, so you can get anywhere. There's an $1,000 award, a $1,300 award, and a $1,500 award. This is for Mountain View residents only. So just note that. The second one is with the city of Menlo Park. So this is for residents of Menlo Park. But the city is passing an ordinance starting this summer that is phasing out the use of gas-powered gardening equipment. So Menlo Park is trying to ease the financial transition to electric gardening equipment. So you can get, if you're a resident, you can get up to $250 towards the purchase of an electric gardening tool. And if you're a gardening or landscaping business, you can get up to $1,000. So yeah, I encourage you guys, if you guys, either of you guys are Menlo Park or Mountain View residents, to check out this program. The applications are open for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I would really encourage you to hop on it. And I'll see you again. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Remy. And this is going to conclude our presentation. But now I'm going to let you guys come off of mute and ask any questions if you would like. Feel free to come off mute now or type any questions into the chat. And we'll have around 10 minutes to have like a Q&A session, anything related to the presentation, any doubts, myths about electric vehicles, I'll be able to answer. There's also my email there on the screen if you guys need anything, you know, electric vehicle related, beneficial education, some of the programs that Remy mentioned. Yeah. Any questions, anyone?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is John in San Francisco. I don't seem to have been logged on for some reason. But I've done a little research and I'm having a hell of a time of finding anything in San Francisco that I qualify for. Even just getting rid of my old 25-year-old clunker. And I know that there's some kind of cash for cars program, but I can't even find information on that. Do you have some kind of a PDF resource or something that might steer me in the right directions?
Yeah, there's definitely, like, if you don't qualify for the Clean Cars for All program, that one is income qualifying. So if you don't qualify with the income that you make, there is another program out there that can destroy your junk car or your old car and give you around $1,000. So it's a lower amount, but it can help you a little bit. So in the follow-up email that I'll send to everyone, I'll send out that link that can be helpful for anyone trying to get rid of their car. And if you don't qualify for the Clean Cars for All, yeah, I'll send that rebate list. It really encompasses all of the programs that I covered here in this presentation today, and some other ones. So yeah, I'll send that your way.
Kind of stuck in that middle income area where I make too much to qualify for the lower income and don't make enough to just outright purchase a vehicle. So it's kind of a catch-22 thing going on there.
Yeah. Do you know if you qualify for the federal tax credit ones, like
Yeah,
the new
I should qualify for that. So that's another question I had. So what do I need to do with the dealer to make sure that they are participating in writing that off right off the sale price?
I would suggest giving them a call to your local dealership. If you're here in the Bay Area, the majority of the dealerships are already having a system in place where they can do that fairly quickly. and some dealerships are playing catch up still, trying to get the right system to get the money from the federal government. But essentially, you just transfer the credit to them, and then they give you the discount because they're going to receive the money from the federal government.
Is there some kind of like certification I should ask to see from them or something that they're participating?
Yeah, if you call them and say, are you a dealership that can give the discount from the federal tax credit for clean vehicles? And they would, I mean, they would have been doing the process now for a couple days if they are. So just ask them if they are doing that or they know about that.
And from what I understand, I asked a couple in December and none of them knew anything about it. But from what I understand, they actually have to sign up with the IRS or something.
Yeah, in December, no dealership kind of knew about it, but now it's been like 4 months, and they have been doing that for a couple customers by now. So this transfer of the credit to the dealership started in January. So yeah, if you asked in December, it was a little too early, and they were still, being educated on that process.
Okay, so they should know by now if they're participating.
Yes, yeah, they would know how to do it and everything.
Okay, and I don't know, again, I don't see my name on your inventory list here of people watching the show. Is there any way for you to check or me to email you to get whatever your handout is going to be?
I'm gonna send it to the so you registered for this event, so I
I
have your
did, but
email.
when I tried to log on, it said I tried to use my Google account and it said that that wasn't what I originally signed up for. So
Don't worry, I have your email, the one that you use to register on Eventbrite. So I'm gonna send it to that email.
okay,
If not, you just feel free to send me an email at that email on the screen right now, so I can just have it. But I'm pretty sure I have it on the Eventbrite registration.
all right, thanks.
Thank you, John. Floor, go ahead and ask your question. You can come off of mute.
Can you hear
Yes.
me now?
Yes.
See, I'm going to say it in English, but English is my second language. So I just want to say first, thank you, because it's the first time I hear you guys have someone translating in Spanish, and it's really. And the other thing that I have a question is that our income has changed, has reduced. You know that the recent income tax that we did, it's a little higher, but the income is gonna go down this year. So how would that apply?
So for the income that a lot of the programs are going to ask you for is they need proof of income. So if you're applying towards the Clean Cars for All program or any other one that needs income verification, they will just ask for like a bank statement or a paycheck, like a pay stub, and that will determine how much you make per year. So if you're certain that it's below that, then you're going to be able to qualify. You are income qualifying, but they would just need to ask for some proof of that income.
Thank you. And we just contact you through the email, right?
Yeah. Send me an email. I would love to help you guys in Spanish.
Okay.
I speak Spanish. We can do a consultation, and I
Okay.
can let you know which ones you qualify for, and then send you an
Okay.
action plan. So step by step on what you need to do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Irvin, we have a question in the chat asking about needing to buy used vehicles at a dealership versus not at a dealership.
Yeah, Lisa,
With
this
the-
for a lot of the incentives for a used vehicle, it has to be purchased through a dealership. It cannot be through a private sale. And there are some websites out there where if it was a private sale, you could make it classify as a dealership sale. But it has to go through like a website. I don't remember the name, but I will send it in the follow-up email. So if the person that you are, if you already found an electric vehicle or something, and they're willing to put their car on this website, then it can be classified as a dealership sale. And I'm not sure about Car Gurus. It's not the one that I'm talking about, but possibly through Car Gurus as well. But yes, if you can find an electric vehicle from a dealership, that would be the best way to receive those the used EV tax credit. If you get the Clean Cars for All one, the Peninsula Clean Energy one, the PG&E one, those all have to come from a dealership sale. I see a question in the chat from Frank. You mentioned that in the Bay Area, transportation accounts for 60% of the pollution. Why is it so much higher here? The Bay Area has a lot of commuters, so people coming from Tracy or from Los Banos, and they have like around a 45-minute commute to work. So there's just people who live further away who have to go to work, and there's a lot of gas cars. There's a lot of trucks on the highway, a lot of traffic, and it's really encompasses 60% of all of the pollution here in the Bay Area. So it's one of the things switching to driving electric is going to be the best thing that we can do to fight against the climate crisis. Paul, I see your hand raised. Go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you. Yes. I gotta turn off.
Yes. Go ahead. I can hear you.
My question, can you hear me?
Yes.
I was wondering if, I'm sorry, I gotta put my sound up here. Yeah, just a second. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
Okay. I was wondering about the incentive from PG&E for the charger, the $2,000 for the electrician and $500 for the unit. If you were approved for Clean Cars for All, they also provide $2,000 for a charger or a charge card.
Yeah.
Can you do both of those?
Yeah, I think you could do both of those.
Use one for charging on public chargers and then the other one for installation?
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to recommend. Using the Clean Cars for All one for public chargers, and then go through PG&E for their installation of level 2. Okay,
great. And then I want to just comment on the gentleman that was asking about the federal incentives and the tax breaks. If my understanding would be, if you were to call a dealership or several dealerships and ask them about that, first of all, they're going to have your telephone number and they're going to start talking with you or calling you. But it also gives them a bit of a upper hand in the negotiation for the price of the car if they know that you're going to be getting that incentive and they're willing and they're signed up with the government to process it. So I think you can go online and find out which dealerships offer or are able to process those incentives from the federal government without, and then say, provide yourself with, an extra card in negotiating a deal. Just a personal opinion on it.
I haven't seen a website that allows you to know which ones have like that system in place. But yeah.
Well, Clean Cars for All has a website of the people that they work with. And I assume if they're working with Clean Cars for All, at least, or Clean Cars for All might be able to tell you if they also accept the federal incentives.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, looking at the Clean Cars for All So if you are getting the Clean Cars for All grant, you have to go through certain dealerships. Not all dealerships are going to accept the Clean Cars for All award letter. So yeah, looking at that list. Good idea.
And could you also email me the list of any additional incentives that you didn't go through today that you mentioned?
Yeah. Well, I'll send the follow-up email to everyone who registered. So I have your email. I'll send it to you. But if you want any additional information after that, you'll have my email, and then, just shoot
Okay.
me a question and I can help out further.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Victoria, I see your question in the chat that says, if you can get a rebate from buying a used car from Car Gurus. And Car Gurus is a dealership, considered a dealership, mostly an online one, but yes, they would be able to give you the used car rebates. And if they it would depend on which rebate you're getting. So if you're getting the Clean Cars for All rebates, if you're getting the PG&E one, on their website, when you apply to that, they give you a list of eligible dealerships that can accept this rebate or the grants that you're getting. So possibly Car Gurus is not going to be on that list, but you can find the same electric vehicle at a similar price from the dealership list that is on the qualifying website. So just keep an eye on that. If you're going to be applying for the Peninsula Clean Energy, the federal tax credit, maybe Car Gurus will be eligible for the tax credit, but not for the Peninsula Clean Energy one or those like the City of Santa Clara ones. They want to see a specific dealership that is in partnership with them to give away the grants. So it's a kind of a research question. So whichever incentive you're applying for, just double check if it's a participating dealership or not. Alrighty, so we're a little bit past 8. We're gonna end the meeting here. Look forward towards the follow-up email. I'll send that tomorrow. And then I'll send the YouTube recording as well for everyone. But yeah, that concludes our EV Financial Incentive Clinic. Thank you guys for coming out. Have a good night.